Welcome. This is Curtis Squires with farbelowmarket.com, and we are extremely excited for two reasons. The first reason is that the deal I'm about to show you will make you a lot of money. The exit strategy does not matter because it will more than cash flow, or you can fix it and you can sell it for a very nice chunk of change. The second reason that we are so excited is that this is our first video showing of a property, and we're hoping that it will really add a lot of value and make your decision making a lot easier. Now, I'm going to ask for your forgiveness. I'm going to speak very fast because in order to put this on YouTube, it has to be under 10 minutes, and I've got a lot of information to cram into this 10 minutes, so I will talk fast. I also apologize for the margins cutting off some of my presentation. I had to shrink it down a little bit to fit in my camera. This property is 45751 Capistrano Drive, located in Indio, and this is West Indio, which is a very desirable neighborhood. The activity in this neighborhood is exploding. Now, for those of you not in the area, this property is in Coachella Valley, which is about 2-hour drive east of Los Angeles. You know when you're in Coachella Valley because when you turn through this mountain, the air becomes crystal blue. It is beautiful. The climate's amazing, and I think that's why the economic growth here is exploding. It got listed in Robb Report as the #1 golf destination in the country. It might be in the world. I don't remember. And the casinos they're out of control. They've been here for years, but now they're trying to outdo each other. They're building these huge hotels. Retail is going up. Even in this recession, it's just exploding. And I think the reason the rental market is nuts. Every property that we have passed on to an investor in 2008 has been rented within 2 weeks. So if you are from out of this area, very strongly recommend you take a look at this area. All right, so moving along, here's the growth in Coachella Valley. It just dwarfs the rest of the state. Just runs laps around it. Here is a little more zoomed in location. This is West Indio. Jefferson, as you see right here in the direct middle of your screen, borders La Quinta. This is probably the biggest, most sought after area. Your blue collar family, suburban, home seekers. It is just off of Clinton, which is a fairly busy street, but it's not that busy. You see the major arteries are indicated in Microsoft Streets and Trips with yellow. It is not a major street, and here it is, the red dot, right off of Clinton. This entire area, starting from Scirocco, I'll go ahead and point it out a little bit here. This is West Indio. Okay. Now, here's an aerial view. As you can see, the yards are green. You drive down the street, it's very well kept. Now, just a very quick thing I just thought of is this is facts, figures, comps, and aerial views. We're actually going to have 2 videos per property. In the second video, I'm going to take you on a tour of this property. So you will actually see the inside of the property. So be sure and click on the next video when we're done here. But here's just a few properties in that subdivision that are currently for sale. The next door neighbor house is on the market for $205, across the street for $255, and there's a couple others in the subdivision that are in pretty rough shape that are on the market in the 150s. So we look at that because that's our competition. If you're going to flip it, you have to beat those. Now, this is just another zoomed in view, and as you can see, this next door house going for $205 is not much bigger. Actually, I think it's a little bit smaller, and there's no pool. Now, what this is this is all solds. I did not cherry pick any of these solds. This is a half-mile radius, all solds within the past several months. Now, the lowest thing on the screen is 120 over here on Verde Drive. And when that came out, I remember we went to go see it immediately. And it's like a 2-1, the worst floor plan you've ever seen, and the stench was almost unbearable. It was a real dog. So you do not want to, you can pretty much throw that one out. Your next highest one on this page is 155, and that one is pretty beat up. It's pretty beat up, so I wouldn't call that your competition. Now, here's the Zillow value. Now, I'm not going to insult your intelligence and tell you that Zillow value is something you should count heavily on. However, Zillow is becoming more accurate because there are more solds. About 8 months ago, it was like basically a wild guess, and that was a tough time to flip houses. We were all kind of shooting in the dark because there were no solds. Now you've got a lot of solds hitting the market. This Zillow pegs this at 195. We think that's a little high. You can get a newer property, not clean but newer and bigger, and you can get an REO for about that. But I do agree with this value range, a low of 140. And remember, Zillow's looking at all those foreclosures and beat up houses, and they're saying that's the rock bottom low, and I would agree with that. Very bad fixers are selling 140s. I think value falls right smack in the middle of that range. Now, you can play with this yourself. Just go to Zillow.com. It's free. You can put the address in. There's actually 2 pages of these comps. I'm sorry that my screen cuts it in half. You can't see the addresses, but like I said, you can just go to Zillow and pull this up. These red arrows are properties that we have flipped ourselves in this area. Scirocco, just up the street, we sold it for 190. That was one of our auctions, and it also does not have a garage. It is bigger by a little bit, but it has no pool, and we sold that for 190 in May. Capistrano Drive is built in '79. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,350 square feet. We think that it is larger than that. We think perhaps they enclosed the garage and then did not add the square footage. We're going to have it taped off, but to stay conservative, we've comped the value of this property as if it was 1,350. So if it does turn out to have a bigger square footage, that will be bonus. Now here are some more specific comps that are very close match in either proximity or all the above: proximity, year built, and size. And they're pretty amazing. Over here, right down the way in Palmwood, and I drove all of these. 2-bed, 1-bath, 1950, sold for 170 in April. I wouldn't call it a major fixer, but it had no landscaping and it was pretty badly outdated. You got 1983, just south of that, 1,379 square feet, sold 166 in April, massive fixer. It did not even have flooring. Right in the same subdivision, just around the corner, you've got 1975, 1,200 square feet. Now this is for sale, 205, but I include this on the comp pages again because that's your competition. If you're going to flip this, what you are going to be selling against. And my favorite comp is just up north, a little ways on Francis Avenue. We actually flipped a house on Francis this year, built in 1959, a little bit bigger, 1,690 square feet, very massive fixer. I mean, it needed everything. It just beat up. It sold for $169.9 in May. Sold in 2 weeks at this price. So what do you think this might go for? A good deal would be $120. This is yours for $95,000. Now we don't have a formal repair list, but we've done enough of these. We're pretty good at eyeballing. We think 25,000 is actually towards the high side, and you've got room anyway if it's a few thousand more than that, but we can't really see that happening. And $95,000. My cameraman, when I said that, he thought I had made a mistake, and he thought it was supposed to be 195. Estimated repair value 170. We think that a conservative value that it would sell, a fast sale value would be 160s, 160. Now, if you'd like to see a tour of this property, join us on the next video. I think you're going to be pretty amazed. You're probably thinking at this price it's a burnout. I think you're going to be in shock when you actually see it. So let's go on a tour of the property, and we'll see you there.